The Harry Potter franchise is one of my favorites. I've seen every movie multiple times, not including the garbage-ass prequels. I've also read all the books. So if anyone is doubting, I know my fucking Potter. Today's video is going to start my official ranking for the Harry Potter movies. I was originally going to do one video, but I got a lot of Potter to discuss, so I will be making a playlist consisting of 7 videos. Now you might be saying, that Melvin, there's 8 movies. I'm going to be counting both parts of the Deathly Hallows as one big movie, because it is one book. I've put a lot of thought into these rankings and will thoroughly be defending my position for each. Number 7 on my list, the absolute worst Potter movie is The Order of the Phoenix. I really loved the first 4 Potter movies. You had Chris Columbus started off, it was kind of kid-friendly, then they went to different directors for Prisoner of Azkaban and Goblet of Fire. They did the same for The Order of the Phoenix. Unfortunately, they decided to stop with David Yates. He is still to this day directing Potter, and I hate his vision. It's not J.J. Abrams and Rian Johnson level, but it's not good. It's just a very lame interpretation of the Potter world. I prefer the direction style of all the previous directors. Other than Revenge of the Sith, I don't think I was ever as hyped for a movie as I was with this one. And man, it was bad. For the first time, I was actually a little embarrassed to be in the theater watching a Harry Potter movie.
Just because you've got the emotional range of a teaspoon.
The dialogue was cringeworthy, and really not much happened in this movie. We just got done with the fucking Triwizard Tournament, now we are in a psychological mess. I get what Yates was going for. He wanted it established that Harry felt completely alone, but he focused way too much on that. Some scenes I liked, but the movie completely misses. And I don't think David Yates is completely to blame. This movie failed big in other areas. The worst part of this movie was the script. Steve Kloves wrote the script for the first 4 movies, but he was not there for The Order of the Phoenix. The script was written by Michael Goldenberg. Michael Goldenberg fucking sucks. He obviously didn't read the Order of the Phoenix novel. His screenplay completely missed. The thing that always bothered me about this movie is it was the longest book, yet the shortest movie. How does that make any sense? They should have either wrote a better script, made a 3-hour movie, or they should have began releasing 2 parts, which I thought was very effective with the Deathly Hallows. We easily had the worst script in this movie. In addition to that, we had the worst score. These fantasy movies desperately need good music. Look at Star Wars, for example. John Williams, he's a legend. He enhanced those movies. John Williams enhanced the first 3 Potter movies. Unfortunately, he didn't return after The Prisoner of Azkaban. But we did get a good score for Goblet of Fire with Patrick Doyle. But they didn't keep him for the rest of the movies. They got Nicholas Hooper for The Order of the Phoenix. Not every track was bad. There was some decent ones. But it is easily the worst score of any Potter movie by far. Cringe dialogue with cringe music with cringe directing. This is the worst Potter movie. It was a complete mess. The movie starts off well. Harry is getting picked on. He saves Dudley from the Dementors. He flies to London. And you can kind of tell before they fly to London that there's some lame humor.
Not here, Nymphadora.
Don't call me Nymphadora.
But the cringe really starts when he arrives at Sirius Black's house. Hermione gives him this awkward hug and says, "It's cut off of the Order of the Phoenix." Then they are using a magic ear to listen in on the adults, and the cat eats it or something. The dialogue, the directing style, the music. Should the scene even be in the movie, given all the material in the book and limited runtime for the movie? All that is noticeably crap. Harry's trial is interesting. Then it gets really bad when they arrive at Hogwarts and meet Luna Lovegood.
You're not going mad.
She's a bad character.
I can see them too.
She kills the vibe of the movie right here. Nothing that interesting happens at Hogwarts in this movie. I mean, that's not entirely on the screenwriter. There's a lot of politics with the book. The ministry's corrupt and fucking with Hogwarts. From a narrative perspective, it feels like we are going back and not forward. It takes a whole movie to realize, hey, Voldemort is back. It's disappointing watching the movie, not knowing what was going to happen, expecting some hardcore Harry Potter action, and we get Umbridge being a bitch for the whole movie. I thought she did a good job, and it works in the books much better, but it's kind of lame on screen. The stuff I did like, I like the mind scenes with Harry, his dreams, I like the occlumency lessons with Snape. The Room of Requirement is such a stupid concept that, again, made more sense in the books, but it's just thrown at us very quickly in this movie with no setup.
You've done it, Neville. You found the Room of Requirement.
Then we get this cringe line of dialogue. It's like Hogwarts wants us to fight back.
It's brilliant. It's like Hogwarts wants us to fight back.
I was completely expecting some hardcore Harry Potter action. I wanted to see some dueling. David Yates found a way to make dueling look incredibly stupid. And up until this point, we really haven't seen like any dueling in this franchise. Everything with Dumbledore's army, the music, and the montage was just embarrassing to watch. Stupefy, stupefy. The Dumbledore army scene should have been great. It's just more bad music and bad humor.
I'm okay.
That sums up the movie. The action picks up when they go to London, they go to the Department of Mysteries, and they found a way to completely butcher the prophecy. It is the most important part of the movie, and they brushed over it and didn't properly explain it. You literally have to read the book to understand it completely. It really is a joke that they failed at this. The dueling starts and we get more stupefy, stupefy.
Stupefy!
Stupefy!
The adults save the day and the dueling gets better, but I still felt very underwhelmed by it. The Voldemort-Dumbledore duel was definitely the best scene in the movie, but it was too little, too late. The movie was already trash. I love the first 4 Potter movies. Sadly, they drop off with David Yates. Hashtag fire David Yates. So this movie was disappointing and so bad, it actually encouraged me to read the books. I felt relieved reading The Order of the Phoenix. The story wasn't as bad as what was on screen. It was developed and explained in much more detail in the book. It amazes me that they had this entire book to pick scenes from and they produced this crap. I didn't stop reading The Order of the Phoenix. I went on and read Half-Blood Prince and Deathly Hallows. So for those movies, I knew what was going to happen. What do you think about The Order of the Phoenix? Do you think it's bad? Do you think it's good? Do you like David Yates? Make sure to like and subscribe. I will be continuing my ranking of the Harry Potter franchise. Join the project.